Hello everyone, I'm back with a long-term review of a tablet that I've been using quite a bit. And as a matter of fact, it's my favorite tablet. It's the Galaxy Tab S8. Now, I was intending to keep this tablet. However, recently there's been a really good deal on Samsung's website for the Tab S9 Ultra. And if you trade this in, you get $700 credit. And then the Ultra is like $299 plus tax. So that was a little bit hard to pass up because of the way I actually use this tablet. Now, as far as tablets are concerned, I've tried iPads. I don't like the writing experience on the iPad, which is kind of one of the main reasons why I use this, why I use a tablet in the first place. And that's kind of been a deal breaker. The Apple Pencil for me for note taking is just not working out. I do have a Surface Pro, but the Surface Pro is really large and it's very heavy. It's almost 2 pounds and it's really clunky. I already have a laptop. I use a MacBook Pro as a computer. So this is kind of a really good in between. I think Android tablets, but particularly Samsung tablets, are not quite tablets and not quite computers. They're kind of in between, and bear with me, hear me out. I feel like they're in between an iPad and a Surface Pro because it's more of a laptop than the iPad is, but it's more of a tablet than the Surface Pro is. It's, in my opinion, literally between the two. So that's just, my opinion on the matter, okay? Now, as far as the build quality on this thing, it's really great. These things are super thin. They're really light. This is the, small one, the 11-inch version. I really like it. This is not the top of the line Samsung screen. I think on the new S9s, right, they have the new OLED screen across the board. Whoops, excuse me. And, this is not it. This is going to be an LCD screen, but it looks really good. I know it looks maybe a little yellow on the camera for some reason, but or at least I'm seeing it a little yellowish, but it looks really good. For an LCD screen, there's nothing you're going to be missing from it, to be honest. So it's fine. The speakers are really good. So I enjoy listening to different, things. We'll go ahead and play a little bit of a story here and you can hear the speakers. Let me turn it up. Okay, so let me start it. They sound really great. Right.
I've been doing this for 25 years, and I do believe that I've seen a lot.
So, it's a really nice immersive experience. Like, it's not a huge tablet. It's an 11-inch tablet, so it's, but it's really nice. The speaker's great. The one area I would say, and sorry about that light there, that's just the light from the top. The one area I would say that it's not quite as strong in, I guess, is the battery. It's kind of hit and miss. If I do a lot of heavy note taking on it, the battery is not that great, to be really honest with you. So it'll go 4 or 5 hours, 6 hours, sometimes a little longer. But if I do anything heavy on it, I don't do a lot of gaming. So that's one thing that I kind of, I don't really do as much. So but that'll drain the battery as well. So that's another sort of thing that I think could be improved. So hopefully it's improved with the new Snapdragon. The one thing I like about this tablet that I didn't really like I did try a couple of the other tablets that Samsung had, the larger ones. What I like about this one is just the fingerprint scanner. It's awesome. I love the fingerprint. I don't really like the in-screen fingerprint scanner, at least not on this version of tablets, like this era, like the S22 Ultra era tablet kind of combination thing. It wasn't quite as good. And keep in mind, this has been out almost, 2 years, or a year and a half, I guess almost 2 years now, right? For this tablet, a year and a half or so. For me, it's only a 1-year-old tablet. So I don't, I'm not really somebody who's used it, too much more than that. But I really do enjoy it. But I mostly use it for content consumption, so watching videos and what have you. And the other thing I use it for is note-taking. So, just to kind of share with you, and a lot of reading, right? So, you read the Times, read the LA Times, talk about, whatever I want to read about, any stories. It's great, right? You can kind of, It's very responsive, like most tablets are these days. Well, at least I would say the higher end tablets, right? So I do consumption, like, reading the news. That's really great on it. Reading a newspaper on, obviously I don't really do that on the Kindle, right? Obviously, it'd be nice to be able to do that on the Kindle, but the Kindle doesn't really have, I have a Kindle Scribe, as I just reviewed. It doesn't have the same kind of functionality, right? So I was writing down what I like, right? So what I like about it, this tablet in particular, right? Oops, sorry about that. I got all kinds of stuff happening there. You could be taking notes, right? So I just pulled up a magazine here. You want to take notes, right? What I like about it is that I can take notes and use whatever app I want, the Samsung app, I'm using OneNote here, and read at the same time, right? So the multifunctionality is great, right? So that's just kind of what I use it for a lot. If I'm reading, a text of some sort, preparing for, my classes, or preparing, a lesson plan, or just casually reading something that I want to read. And, this is just little magazine. My son's really into RC cars. So, if I want to take notes, read, just do the reading itself, you can just kind of slide it on over. If you want to read the magazine, and there you go. It's really nice, right? So it's a really nice consumption device in this way, but it's also functional. And the other thing is Dex mode. Dex mode is outstanding on this. Dex mode is something that turns it into almost a complete computer. Honestly, the only thing that I really can't do with it is share my screen on like Zoom calls. And I can share my screen to a certain extent, but I can't share like PowerPoints and things of that nature. So that kind of integration is lacking a bit, I think. It would be nice if I was able to do that. And honestly, at that point, it would really almost be a laptop replacement. But the best thing I like about it in terms of like, it's literally my favorite note-taking device. I described as okay to take notes on as well, but this is literally like my favorite note-taking device. The pen itself, it has some give to it. So it doesn't feel like the iPad where you're really just pushing like against the screen to the point where you don't even feel like you can really use it, right? Like you can, and you can just tap there, go right up. You don't really feel like you can use it as a pen, at least for me, it's just so rigid. It feels like I'm writing, on glass with like, something with a wood, a piece of wood, or just like, just really harsh. And, and maybe some of you like that, and that's fine. I don't, everybody has their own kind of feeling about it. But for me, this is the best writing experience. The other thing is that even though it doesn't have a natural eraser, once you get used to just holding down the little button here on the S Pen, let me see if I can find it here. You just hold down that button and you're erasing. So it doesn't feel quite as natural as flipping it over, but it feels, I'm over here just taking screenshots and stuff. It doesn't feel, bad. It's you can actually work with it, right? I just took a screenshot of the thing there on accident with using the pen here because I was using it for something else. But anyhow, so that's a good experience, right? I really enjoy that. Let me go ahead and get out of this if I can. Let's discard that. Sorry about that. So the question one is like, should you upgrade to the S9? Now, I don't know if it's really worth it, to be honest with you. I was watching another review and someone said that if you do like video editing on it or something, then perhaps it's worth it. And I was looking at all the trade-in options, and I just happened to see the trade-in where you can get $700 for this. I actually traded at the time when I got this, I think I had an S7, so I traded that and it was really minimal cost. And the only reason I'm doing it is because I use the functionality where I'm like writing notes and reading at the same time so much that I think I would be served by the bigger screen of the Tab S9 Ultra. So I'm going to go ahead and go for that. I just got it in, so I'm going to try it out. But I think this one's going to get traded in ultimately. But that being said, right now on Samsung's website and at Best Buy, you can get this thing for $599, okay? And if you look for open box, I mean, I've seen as low as like $400, $300, $400. At that price point, man, that's a deal, right? So I think because this is going to get Android updates for another 3 years, I believe, the operating system, and then, security updates after that. And the build quality is outstanding. So I'm not, I wouldn't worry about it at all. The S9 Ultra right now, I think is on sale already, I'm sorry, the S9 Tab S9. Oh no, it's not. It's $799. So this one for $799, the new one versus the S8 for $599. And you'll probably find it used even a little cheaper. I might be inclined towards the Tab S8 if you want a really good quality Android tablet that's relatively inexpensive. They're going to be less expensive than iPads. Now, is the app support as great as the iPad? No, obviously we know that, right? So that's not really going to, if that's going to be the main factor, then I would say, the iPad might be something you want to consider. But this is a really great tablet. So, it's kind of up to you. Of course, and like I said, I think it's getting better. The Android tablet support is getting better. The app support, on the tablets. I think because Pixel now has the Fold and they're jumping back, Google's jumping back into tablets, that might make it even a little bit, better moving forward if they take it seriously and continue to do so. But Samsung itself, has already, if you see it with the Z Fold 5, they're already adapting the apps pretty well. So I don't worry about Samsung too much. I think they'll figure it out. And in that case, I think this would be a really, it's a really good deal. It's a good bargain, and it's nice. It's easy to carry around. Versus an iPad Pro 11, it just kind of depends on what your needs are and what you're using it for. I think if you're an artist, probably the iPad is the way to go. But outside of that, I mean, a tablet is a tablet, right? It's going to function as it does. The only thing I think that helps this a lot is the DeX feature. Now, I don't use a keyboard with it. I do use a mouse. I don't use the Samsung stuff. I just have my own regular case for it. I use a mouse. I use a keyboard, a Bluetooth keyboard, a Logitech. On the very rare occasions that I even put a keyboard on this thing, but I don't. Now the Tab S9 Ultra, which I'm gonna trade it in for, I believe. We'll see how that goes. I'm gonna try it out for a little bit. That I'll probably end up using the keyboard and the mouse a little bit more. But what I'm really looking forward to is that double functionality. Again, doing the note taking side by side with the apps, right? So that's kind of what I'm really looking forward to. Anyhow, so my experience with this has been really good, much more positive. I have a MacBook. I'm a Mac person. I've been using MacBook Pro since 2008, so for like good 15 years. I have iPhones. I use iPhone. I've tried iPads as well. So I'm more of a, I guess, Microsoft Office suite person than anything, and I kind of go between Android and iOS. I don't stick to one or the other. The apps that I use are working on everything. And so whatever device I'm using, I kind of go in that direction. I'm giving up a little bit on the Surface Pro because the battery life is just horrific. I can't get good battery life on that. And this is better than the Surface Pro by far, especially for what I use it for, which is a lot of note-taking. Although I will say not quite as good as the iPad, but given that the pen experience is so good, it doesn't really, that offsets any issues with battery. Build quality is the same. The apps I use are on both devices, so I don't need a ton of apps that I don't even use anyway for Apple, for iOS, for the iPad. So, there it is. Anyhow, that's been a little bit more long-winded than my usual videos. I think perhaps this is the longest one I've made. So I'll be quiet now and let you all go. But anyhow, I appreciate you watching, and as per usual, I hope you're well, and I hope your family's well, and I want you to take care of yourself. See you in the next time.